Peace, y'all. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? I've been asleep earlier today. And then I'm gonna be up somewhat tonight. Having fun. I might do my late night show tonight. I don't know what all I'm gonna do. I might just start creating content because I believe I done beat the YouTube policies and stuff. But the topic of today's show is we're about to deal with Jlee Chronicles interview where Khalil Amani lies. Popular video, people. It's very popular, very popular. So we finna grab Jlee Chronicles video and we're gonna pick it up where we left last time. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go to my YouTube where this information is and grab a special link that I made the other day. And we're gonna pick it up right where So we finna go back over this interview. Forgive me for stopping and stuff. I got a little energy today. I think it's a 4-hour video, but I got some time. We can do it, people. So Jlee Chronicles said I can use the video or whatever. He don't flag. So we're gonna use the video. And here we go, people. But before we do that, we're gonna play some music.
We motherfuckers just wanna bring you down, bring you down, jealous motherfuckers. See when you on top, motherfuckers just wanna bring you down. Motherfuckers wanna bring you down, bring you down. Motherfuckers wanna bring you down, bring you down. Motherfuckers wanna bring you down. Jealous motherfucker. I give a fuck about a hater. Avoid it with the gator. Yellow nigga, but you're not on my rap radar. You can ask Elliot, they delicate. Nobody differentiate subject from predicate. I'm unfuckwittable. You better all celibate. These fools are on the beat. GB, I relish it. Promise you can't do nothing 9 days. They'll tell us shit. Why you minding my business? Let yours irrelevant. Weak motherfuckers running around here front. Know a little of everything about nothing. They know who drive what, whose booty is fake, whose titties is real, her used to date, who's behind on their house, who's leaving their spouse. They know the terms of let divorce and alimony amount. Who pops what pill, who's lacing they weed. Weak ass might as well work for TMC. Weak motherfucker, wanna bring you down, bring you down. Weak motherfucker, wanna bring you down, bring you down. Weak motherfucker, wanna bring you down, bring you down. Weak motherfucker, wanna bring you down, jealous motherfucker. Yeah. Old goof ass niggas. VIP stalking old groupie ass niggas. Online shopping fake Gucci ass niggas. They got the nerve to stunt fake bougie ass niggas. Wanna bring you down, don't wanna do your work. They wanna wear your crown, think they deserve your house. Deserve to drive your cars like they survived your stars. They help you write your bars. They ain't take your risk, but want what's on your wrist. Never felt your pain, but wanna wear your chain. They wanna reap your harvest without enduring the rain. Can't see a nigga sacrifice, they blinded by fame. They don't feel your stress, oblivious to the struggle. We see the forest for the trees, oblivious to the jungle. We survived in the belly, the beast damn near swallowed us. So fuck you and your bitch ass followers, you weak motherfucker. Wanna bring you down, bring you down. Weak motherfucker, wanna bring you down, bring you down. Weak motherfucker, wanna bring you down, bring you down. Weak motherfucker, wanna bring you down, jealous motherfuckers.
All right, people, we got through the song today. Woo! Now, look, people, I got a new catchphrase. And the new catchphrase is, I kick COINTELPRO niggas' ass all the time. This is the head of a YouTube cult, COINTEL cult. See, a cult have cult leaders. This is a cult leader that I'm dealing with. He's leading the LGBT hip hop community. He's leading the YouTube LGBT community. He's leading all these LGBT people, and he's leading all these COINTEL people that follow him, that fucks with me, and I fucks them all up, people. I don't care where they are, where they from, LGBT or what. Now let me put my little ugly face on the screen down here at the bottom, and we finna play the video.
Yes, that's true. That's true. But
Okay.
that part is. Well, basically, what basically you're spouting the lies of that guy from Arkansas. So let's just put that on the table. Because nobody else says that but him.
See, he's afraid to say the guy from Arkansas' name. When I'm doing shows or interviews with Jlee, I'm not afraid to say no names, none of that. But see, he had to create a false narrative. The guy from Arkansas. Somebody else from Arkansas need to come on YouTube and become that guy from Arkansas. Because they can get the channel and everything, and they'll be popular because, like I said, it's a whole cult of people out here want to find that guy from Arkansas and harass and do everything. If they're man or woman enough to stand. But anyway, let me get out of that weak ass bullshit conversation.
But we'll just talk about it.
Well, I'm going based off of what you said, because you said these ignorant YouTubers. I was on one of your posts or something. You said these. So I thought it was multiple people saying it.
Well, well, he started, and there's others who have. There's one or two who have said so. Yeah, it's more than him. So yes, you are correct with it's more than one YouTuber. But I would say he's the foundation of this kind of these lies. Okay, so let's talk about it.
Hold on, real quick. Israel Doctrine, chill out, man. She could be friendly to whoever she want to be.
You see that? Now, in this chat, I say something, he want to reprimand me. Me and that woman talking, I ain't called out her name or nothing. I say, you real friendly. Don't make me start questioning you now. Did I step out of line, or did I just make a damn statement? But see, he been drinking that liquor and stuff, and he worked for the cult. If you ask me, my opinion may be wrong. That's how I feel. I may be wrong as wrong can get, but that's how I feel. PTSD. I don't know, because ever since he started interviewing this stuff, and I made this channel hot, by being the first for him to interview, it's like they so damn hot over there, but they would go about bashing this real doctrine. I don't know, but he allowed this guy to come over and bash me. I wonder if he ever gonna have me over again and interview me, because he might be done with me now, but we'll see.
Be friendly too. Have added Miss Tanya Jones. She was speaking to you. And Israel Doctrine got a problem with that. So we not doing that. We're not doing that in the chat. But go ahead, Khalil. I'm listening.
Okay, so yeah, that's called the bastardization of my story. See, here's the difference between me and anybody you can mention on YouTube as a YouTuber who has a story to tell. This is the difference. Not Hassan Campbell, not Ronald B. Stinger Savage, none of those Negroes, because they don't have the mainstream media behind them to tell their.
So now, what is this story talking about? The story he's talking about is when he left the Yahwehs, and then between that, he was doing some things he shouldn't have been doing. Then he went, told the FBI on Yahweh ben Yahweh, right? This is what he's talking about. So let's just deal with it and see if he would ever in his life speak on it again, because all he's doing is leaving certain stuff out of the conversation. So he left the Yahwehs. He started becoming a drug mule, moving cocaine down the East Coast, from Miami to Washington, D.C. So he was a drug mule in between Yahweh ben Yahweh and telling the feds. He robbed stores. He was robbing people in between this time. And he also was spending time with his children. One of his children tried to steal his children from the Yahwehs. And they say, nigga, where them children at? He gave them back. So he called himself trying to save his children or steal his children in between this time. But the Yahwehs came and got him. And then eventually the children end up at his mother-in-law's house, because him and his wife still married. He can't get out the coat and go get a proper divorce. So they still married. So the children end up at his mother-in-law's house. Now, you won't hear none of that damn conversation in this conversation, but that is the conversation. But let's listen to what he's saying.
Stories. So the difference between me and them is that my story is documented. Most of the people that would talk about my story in negative terms don't know my story, haven't read my story, haven't read the documentation, haven't read the court proceedings.
So you see what he's saying. My story is documented. They got documentation on it. So this is what criminals and different stuff does, because if you start documenting it, somebody come through, write it, you make a movie or whatever, this is what it is. See, the autobiography of Malcolm X is more prominent than Malcolm X itself. You could have known Malcolm personally, but if you went out in public and said some shit that wasn't in that autobiography, would have been a problem for you, because the autobiography, the writing of the movie, dominates the topic. That's why he's trying to get a movie deal, as he told Shamir Bey. He's trying to get a movie deal and stuff, and he's trying to document it, trying to document the lies that he wants to tell the people, he wants the people told. He won't tell people that he was a drug mule in between Yahweh ben Yahweh and the FBI. He don't tell people he was robbing stores. He don't want to tell people he tried to steal his children, and then eventually the children ended up at his mother-in-law house. Why? Because there is audio of him out there. YouTube got it, of him saying Yahweh ben Yahweh was trying to sleep with my wife. Now, I don't know if Sarnetta will ever speak on it. I don't know if Michael Evers will ever speak on the RBG Hebrew. But there's people out here that listen to that interview and know that that's what he told me. But see, this cult leader, aka Yahweh ben Yahweh Junior here, he wants to fool y'all. He know how to fool y'all because he was once in the cult. He know how Yahweh ben Yahweh effed up, and he know how to fix it. So he can keep y'all in his coat. But as long as he keep fucking with Carl Albert Davis, a.k.a. Israel Doctrine, a.k.a. Issy, Carl Albert Davis, a.k.a. Israel Doctrine, a.k.a. Issy, is going to knock this motherfucker head off every fucking time. But let's keep going.
Haven't read, hold on. Haven't read my book, my 300.
Now, you see that book right there? When I confronted him before, he pulled that book out and he started reading the page. And on the page, he read about how his children was at the grandmother's, his mother-in-law house. So if them children was at his mother-in-law house, there's no way Yahweh ben Yahweh was going to ever touch his daughter. Because I don't think the mother-in-law was in the coat shit and she was going to let the coat come in there and have sex with her grandchildren. And the grandchildren was young as hell. Now, I don't know if he'll ever speak on this again because it's some knock you out type shit. Like I told you, I'll be knocking these motherfuckers' heads off. See, I don't give a fuck about a coat lip. I don't give a fuck about his following. I don't care. I'm a nigga that truly don't give a fuck. But let's go back now.
73-page book. Haven't read the Pulitzer Prize winning journalist book in which my story is told in it.
So you see, he said poor surprise. So the FBI go get a poor surprise person, get them to write a story about him and the coat and stuff, and that's supposed to be what it is. You say anything else, you get your motherfucking head knocked off. But see, I can say these things and they can't fuck with me. You know why? Because I got the videos of him opening his own autobiography showing that them children was with their mother-in-law. I told you, I don't even need the money. All I need is the subscription and stuff, because if y'all show me love and watch my videos, which on the ground basis, y'all will just be subscribing to this channel, then I have to create the content that y'all watch to get the watch hours. But shit, if I could get an ad set, start getting paid and shit over here, I'll put the information out there for you. So all I need to do is see the subscribers. Go get all them troll pages and all them things that y'all use. I'll fuck y'all leader up, and then y'all can come kick it with me. And I'll show y'all how to live and stuff. See, where's the YouTube street queen? I'm glad she's gone. I'm glad she's gone because it is protecting her. When she come back, if she don't come back attacking you all, and y'all start attacking her, it's gonna speak volumes. Now, I feel like I'm the one behind that. She may feel different or whatever. Y'all may feel different. But the queen is gone. Meaning, y'all not chasing her down trying to kill her for supporting me. Because it would just be a matter of time before that conversation appears. Because anybody that kick it with me, especially when they know exactly who you are, your life is in danger because these niggas out here getting their shit knocked off and they feel very upset.
So when these YouTubers tell my story, they're bastardizing it, and they are my YouTube so-called nemesis and enemies and detractors. So
when did I ever say I was his enemy, detractor, nemesis, and all that stuff? This nigga is the one that started saying he got beef with me. Yes or no? I know y'all probably never watched this, coat leading ass, but this nigga wanted beef with me. He's only doing this interview to try to rewrite the narrative and put dirt on my name like I'm running around chasing him and all that shit, when everybody know I was like, leave me the fuck alone, quit tagging me, quit doing this shit. Because when I was in my power fucking everybody up, I didn't have to tag nobody. I didn't have to do none of this weak boy shit. I'm only gonna give y'all an album, people. But let's go on.
What they say, you can trash it. I'm the most documented motherfucker out here. You can go to the court records, or you can go to the Pulitzer Prize journalist, or you can buy my book and you can get a well-rounded, or you can watch the 6 national TV shows I've been on and the magazines and the newspapers. I can't hide my story. I've had mainstream, college-educated people who have degrees in journalism.
So, Mr. Shitty Blood, y'all know he a Pyru right here, blood, Roman Whack 100 in them West Coast Bloods. Listen, why aren't you talking about the drug dealing and the muling and the trafficking stuff? Because you should be the most documented person that document themselves, because you put it out there before, but you're not talking about that now. Because everybody that stays up in Washington where the drugs won, they was coming from Miami. Their mother and fathers was cracked out and selling themselves and doing all that. They would love to know who was one of the main causes for it. And Khalil Amani is one of the main causes for people marrying, burying, smoking that crack and sleeping with them whores. And Khalil Amani made that happen. Just like he made Lil Nas X happen. Just like he made other abominable, crazy ass things in America happen. So if your life is in shambles because of cocaine in the 80s and shit, thank Khalil Amani. You think they put it in his documentation and stuff so he will be well documented? Why isn't he putting it in his documentation right now? See, fucking with me, it will be documented.
Dig up my story, tell it and retell it. And it is consistent. It is only my YouTube enemies that want to say I became a snitch because Yahweh fucked my wife. No.
All right, so
no.
So now the story is, I didn't know the Yahweh ben Yahweh fucked my wife until I was out of the coat and all of that. And then this sister told me, you know, Yahweh ben Yahweh used to fuck your wife, right? But he knew that Yahweh ben Yahweh was playing hands on the women at night because he was one of the main guards. So 1, 2 in the morning, Yahweh go lay hands on somebody and come out because he was 20, 19, 20. He didn't know that Yahweh was laying pipe on him. Like, who the fuck don't know that people is fucking? Who don't know that? You see how when you see that little girl was on polite lap and all that and touching them and stuff, man, we don't need to guess what's going on. Polite was having sex with that girl, prove that he won. Go get some DNA stuff and everything that polite won penetrating that girl's mouth or vagina. Just prove it wrong. Sarnetta knew, he never spoke about the shit until the nigga robbed him. Then he see people be knowing, but they don't speak up.
You said court records. Are those court records available to the public? Not just the court records, but the FBI files and all that. We can find those FBI files.
You'd have to, if you want the FBI files, you'd have to, file some paperwork and get, but it's
The
public.
Freedom of Information Act.
Freedom of information, and of course the whole court case, which.
So y'all know what's going on, right? If they fuck with me and take me to court, they gonna be free for me because it's discovery. They gonna have to get them papers up and let me see them papers because they're gonna come up in my discovery. Because I outed the man, this cult leader has been trying to have cult followers, COINTELPRO, cult followers, gang stalk me, kill me, and all that. They even playing games. Oh, I gave him $3,000. I paid him money and stuff. He don't know that we was just trolling and saying that because I ain't paid nobody $3,000. I don't know. All I know that a cult COINTELPRO nigga will do whatever he want to do. If I don't know, but when we go to court and we pull that discovery out, we're going to find out who got money and who didn't get money.
Which you wouldn't want to download because it's probably about, 500,000 pages.
Mm-hmm.
But you could find my testimony and my involvement. It's available for those who think they want to, sift through it and find something inconsistent to make me, whatever they're trying to make me.
All right. So,
what a big baller like this, he would go get it and put it out there to the public for free if he wanted to kill his name. Like he said, all Bambaataa had to do was raise his shirt up. All he had to do was raise his shirt up. I ain't stabbed. I ain't cut. Raise your shirt up. Show people. Right? So if Khalil Amani wanted to be a badass, which he claimed he a badass, he would go get the records and he would put them out there. Instead of writing a book about how this man was letting his mama basically ride his penis and how he used to fiend and jack off thinking about mama riding his penis, he would go get them court records and he would document his own story. Fuck some journalists and shit, right? He ain't that bad. Y'all think I would do it? If I had the ability to go get my records and show you about anything, because I can go get my court records. I don't have no problem going to get my court records and showing y'all live on YouTube how that bitch lied about me and everything. Because remember, we had a half a trial where she opened her goddamn mouth wide as a gulpy and bit the bait. So, what's up, Khalil? You go get your records. I go get my records, and we split all our business in the streets. You down with it? Because I'm man enough to do it, because I ain't got shit to hide. You got some shit to hide, homeboy.
What information did the FBI have before you reached out and contacted them? What did they already know about the code?
From what I know, from what I was told by the FBI, number one, that in fact and indeed, I am the first ex-member that was a part of the cult that walked into the FBI and spilled my guts. That's number one. But I understand from reading books, I think it's in this book, that it is in that book, about 6 months before I walked into the FBI, they did put a real live FBI agent in the Yahweh group, but his leads led to nothing because he was a day late and $1 short. By the time he came along, we had already, as a cult, killed, 12, 13 people.
And did you witness any of these murders?
I didn't witness any of them. I witnessed the prelude to the murders.
Mm-hmm.
Just to a couple of them. I witnessed people being beat unconscious and put in trunks of a car and then subsequently beheaded, murdered the next day.
What role did you play? What crime did you participate during your time in the cult? Yeah, take a drink, man. It's about to get heavy now.
It ain't heavy. There's no question you can ask me that I haven't heard. So, but go ahead on, Jlee. I want you to bring it. I'm gonna take another drink.
Yeah, go ahead for sure. I'm gonna make me one here in a minute. Mine is almost empty. But yeah, what crimes did you participate in during your time?
I didn't participate in any crimes.
When he was in the coat. When he was in the coat, he didn't participate in any crime. Because remember, he was brainwashed to be righteous. He wasn't eating the pork and shit. It's when he got out the coat, he went and did the abominable, wicked shit. See, you can't be no same gender loving advocate or LGBTQIA plus advocate in the coat. When you get out the coat, though, you can be whatever the fuck you want to be. Because whatever Yahweh was doing, you weren't finna be wicked up in that coat or your ass would be beheaded. So, no bullshit when you in that coat.
Come on, man. This ain't a Vlad interview. I'm not going to take it back to the feds.
No, I can tell you, let me say this. If I had been involved in a crime, I would have gone to prison. When the RICO came down, I would have been a part of it too. I didn't have to sign any paper saying, you're going to get immunity. Tell us what you did, Khalil. I told what I knew before matter of fact, they never offered me immunity, but I told what I knew off the rip because I didn't really care if I was going to implicate myself. Now, the only thing that I could have been implicated for if the government, I don't know if they were nitpicking, I don't know, is when the one fellow came to the temple to see Yahweh ben Yahweh, and I was the one who was on guard that day, and I met him at the front door. And he left, but when he left his Bible with me at the front door, and he remembered that he forgot his Bible, so he came back.
Okay.
By the time he came back, it just so happened that the head of security, Yahweh ben Yahweh's personal bodyguard, John Foster, just happened to be, he wasn't a full-time worker. He actually worked for one of the NBC, ABC, CBS downtown Miami, but he just happened to be there that day. And we already had labeled this guy that had just came as a hypocrite. He was already labeled a hypocrite. Okay. So when he came back to get his Bible, he came back to me, and here's John Foster, 6'5", 320-some pound of man standing behind me and steps up and said, what do you want? He said, it's a Jamaican fellow. He said, I want my Bible. I want to see Yahweh ben Yahweh. So I knew Yahweh ben Yahweh wasn't there, but John says, you want to see Yahweh ben Yahweh? Wait right here. So he tells me, stay here with the guy.
So this is where the criminal shit come in, and he know it himself. If they was gonna get me on something, I witnessed them stomp this man out and put him in the trunk and put a hatchet back there to cut his head off. Now, he should have talked to John Foster. He should have talked to Yahweh. He should have talked to someone if he cared about human life at the time. What the fuck going on? I just seen y'all stomp this dude out and you put a hatchet back there. What the fuck the hatchet for? Are we finna go behead him? Oh, I tell you what, you do what you do, and I'm gonna tell on you motherfuckers because y'all killing people. But see, when you a bitch and you afraid to die, you ain't gonna say that shit. But he just told y'all I was a bitch. I seen him stomp him out, and I ran back to my post because I didn't want to get reprimanded for watching the stomp out. Then they put his ass in the carpet and brought him by me, and I knew his ass was in the carpet, but I ain't telling no fucking body. I'm not warning nobody that the Yahweh just stomped the motherfucker out, put him in the carpet, putting him in the trunk, put a hatchet back there, get ready to cut this motherfucking man head off. When he ain't did shit but asked for Yahweh ben Yahweh in his Bible. But A man would have spoken up. A bitch would have shut his mouth. Because like he said, if they'd have told him, Khalil, get your ass in this car, we finna go kill this nigga, he'd have said, yes, boss, and got his ass in that car and went cut the man's head off his goddamn self. But don't worry about my commentary.
And John leaves. Now, John is the head, he's Yahweh ben Yahweh's personal bodyguard, and he's head of the security for the nation of Yahweh. When he gives you an order, you follow. Okay. I was already on guard duty at the front door. So I stayed there with this guy. He left. He comes back with 8, 9, 10 other Israelite dudes. And I knew it wasn't going to be good for the brother.
Now, was Yahweh ben Yahweh an Israelite or was he a fucking Hebrew Israelite? Because, see, he's writing a story. Him, Sadat, and everybody and their mama trying to make Hebrew Israelites Israelites. Because they done seen how this Israelite done fucked them all up. And how righteous I am, I don't do no wicked shit. So they got to make the wicked ass Hebrew Israelites Israelites. And then start saying, look at this wickedness that these Israelites have done. But the Southern Poverty Law Center and everybody and their mama has labeled these people Hebrew Israelites because they come out of one West, which was black Hebrew Israelites. See, you can't say you don't know the history now. Now, back in the days, we may not know where the term Hebrew Israelite and all this shit come from, but you can't tell me that you didn't sit up there for years and watch them people call themselves Hebrew Israelites. Me never doing that and then start calling them Israelites instead of Hebrew Israelites. It's already documented. But that's what COINTELPRO trying to do to you ignorant motherfuckers because y'all don't want to subscribe. Y'all don't want to listen to me. And y'all don't want to take the news that Hebrew Israelites is some shit you should never call yourself. But it's years of people documented, known as Hebrew Israelites, never fought against the word, never went against that whole goddamn narrative that they Hebrew Israelites. They created a group called the Hebrew War Machine. Thank you, Daniela, for saying that nigga gives salvation to other people who can't be a part of this group. Because I never wanted to be a part of that shit.
Oh, man, wow. So you
so
said
what
it
happened was, what happened
ahead.
was, like I said, I knew that Yahweh ben Yahweh wasn't there because I was there when Yahweh ben Yahweh left. I was a full-time live-in worker for the temple of Yahweh. So I knew
and saw a lot.
Right. The eyes have the walls have eyes and the walls have ears, and I can hear that. I knew stuff. And so John Foster, the head of security, and these other 8, 9, 10 guys, they say, follow us, we'll take you to see Yahweh ben Yahweh. I knew he wasn't there, so I knew something was going on. So as the crowd went, I went with them. I walked behind them, and as I got about halfway back to where they were going, the temple had a lot of little hallways and stuff. And I kind of knew where they were going, which was at the back of the temple with a loading dock. There used to be an old warehouse. And about halfway there, the guy, John Foster, says to me, his name, we called him Enoch. Enoch says, Yehuda, that was my name, Yehuda, go to the side door. You don't ask questions, you go to the side door.
Okay.
I go to the side door. There's a side door that leads outside to another area.
Right.
So people, at this point, he could have told the man, Yahweh ben Yahweh ain't here. I don't know what they just gonna take your ass. But Yahweh ben Yahweh ain't here, man. You better not follow them motherfuckers. He could have did or said anything. That's if he was a man. And he cared about what was gonna happen. And not no 6'5", 300-pound dude. But see, he was trying to preserve his life. Eating my beans, people, which I shouldn't be doing, but
So I go over there to stand guard. I'm standing guard. Remember, I'm 23 years old. I'm 5'6", about 110 pounds, soaking wet. I'm just standing guard, and I hear moving and thumping and bumping. Boom, 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 boom. Of course, curiosity got the best of me, and I tipped back to see what was going on. Looked around the corner. Oh shit! They were stomping the brother out.
Okay.
He was on the floor. I saw nothing but shoes. I saw, I don't know, pipes and objects just being hitting them. And so once I saw what I saw, I knew what I saw. I made a beeline back to my post. But I stood there as I was commanded to. Now, if the FBI wanted to indict me on being there for the beating, that probably could have happened.
And you didn't kick him or pinch him or nothing, huh?
No. I was told. Right. As a matter of fact, if the guard, if John Foster Enoch had seen me back there after he told me to go on guard, I might be on the ground with the guy because I just violated the order.
Right. Okay.
I got my little skinny ass back to my post and stood guard.
Like you ain't seen the thing.
I ain't seen shit. And my eyes were watering up and shit. I was afraid. I wasn't no gangster. I was about to cry. I was like, oh Lord, let me get my shit together before they come.
Right. I can definitely understand. I'd have been the same way.
Yeah.
Now, go ahead. You had some more.
I was gonna say. So ultimately, after the beating stopped, as I'm standing on guard, now I realize why I'm at that back door. Here they come with this guy. He's still alive. I can, they got his head and stuff wrapped in carpet and tape around his head and stuff, but he's still alive. But as he comes by, I can hear him moaning and groaning and struggling to breathe. And, they tell me, open the door. And so I open the door. And when I opened the door, John Foster, he had a big 1976 red Ford Galaxy. Big old trunk. You could put 3 people in that trunk. Right.
The other big boy. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Galaxy. They put this Jamaican fellow in the Galaxy. I saw 3 guys get in the car. I also saw a machete thrown in the back seat. And off they went.
Oh, that's the guy that got decapitated?
That's the guy who got decapitated.
Oh, wow. So you saw the prerequisite to that.
I saw the
pre-game.
Okay. I saw the pre. This was in 1981. This was 4 years before I finally got out of there.
Right. So you left the code in 85. Or no, you went. When did you go to the FBI?
No, you're right. I left in 85.
When you went to the FBI, they sent you back and they said you stayed in the code another 6 years after that.
No. No, brother. I don't know where you read that. No, I left in 85.
Right.
I went to the cult in 86. I never went back.
When you went to the FBI, they didn't send you back into the code like to do undercover type. You wasn't a cooperating witness.
No. I mean, I'm gonna tell you this. If I was asked, would you want to? Would you like to go back? And as our wired up and all that, I said, hell no. Okay. Hell no. Because here's the thing about the Yahweh code. Once you leave, you are considered weak-minded, and now you're a suspect. I'll never get close to. I used to live in the same house, 4 or 5 doors down from Yahweh bin Yahweh. I'll never be able to get that close to him again after you leave.
Right.
Now you're a defector. Now you're weak-minded. Now you are suspect. I could have gone back, but I would have never lived in the same place where Yahweh bin Yahweh lived.
Is the Yahweh bin Yahweh code still active?
It is. It's there's about 2 or 3 factions of it.
Are you still concerned about any retaliation?
Not in the least.
Is he out of jail now?
He's dead.
Oh, he's dead. Okay. All right. That answers that.
He died in 2007 of colon cancer.
But he died. He wasn't in
prostate cancer.
Prostate. Got it. He wasn't in prison when he died, though, right?
No, they let him go. He did 11 years. They let him go early because he was dying.
If you came back from Newark, New Jersey, and you was still able to live with your wife and your family happily ever after on in the nation, would you have gone to the FBI?
Yeah. Because remember, the premise was, and you never asked me about that. He told a story about how Yahweh ben Yahweh had his wife whoop him in the whole coat, whoop his ass. Smack him, whoop his ass. Oh, they ran through that motherfucker. And he was still there. But Yahweh had been fucking on his wife and making his wife fuck the nigga up, do shit to him. But he's saying, I didn't know until I got out and was at a meeting and some woman said, you know Yahweh was fucking your wife, right? Nah, he knew Yahweh was fucking his wife, like he knew Yahweh was fucking other men's wives. And as he say, he knew Yahweh would fuck his daughter because he knew Yahweh was out there fucking other men's daughters and shit. Because you don't go getting up, you go put hands on a young lady, teenager, at 2 a.m. But he didn't watch Yahweh go into these motherfucking rooms at 2 a.m. and fuck wives and fuck daughters. But he was 23. He didn't know no better. Though he seen his whorish ass mother riding dick, he don't know what sexual shit is. He hadn't had sex education at that time, I guess.
Would you have still gone to the FBI if you was able to still live with your wife after you came back from Newark?
Well, see, this is where you got the story wrong. So let me fix the story up right.
Okay.
I went back. Yahweh ben Yahweh recalled me to come back a year later. I was only in Newark for 1 year. So I was in Miami all of 84 and half of 85. I was living in the same building with Yahweh. There was no issues. The whole thing about my wife being screwed by Yahweh, that's some shit I found out a year or two after I left. I didn't know.
I thought when you came back from Newark, they told you that you couldn't live in that same building that you were living in anymore. So you were at that point you was set.
So you see how the story I didn't know Yahweh ben Yahweh. Now, what man running up in this woman? You know how big you are. Either Yahweh bigger or smaller, whichever one. I guess if he's smaller, you wouldn't know because you bigger. He can't mess her walls up or nothing. But hey, if you sexually active with your partner and can't tell that ain't nobody else been sexually active with, hey, I don't know. My sexual activity life, I can tell if somebody else didn't have it. Number one, because I'm going to be always trying to get it. It ain't going to be no time for nobody else to have it. But he had to do stuff, so he went around when Yahweh was digging in them gutters. Let him tell it.
Separated from your wife and children.
Yeah, at one point. But
you decided to stay around, right? After what?
When I came back from Newark, see the thing about it is, for instance, let me just explain. It's not from point A to point B. There are a lot of zigzags, okay? When I come back from Newark, I go back and I live in the building with Yahweh and Yahweh. Okay. And then I have a practice run at leaving the Yahweh cult. I left in 84 for a day. For a day. Went to my father's house. And I had some of the Yahweh members came to my father's house to bring me back. And I went back. But here's the catch. Then when I went back, I wasn't admitted to the big house. I had to go down into the warehouse.
Did they look at you as a detractor at that point?
Well, no, I wasn't a detractor. I just wasn't to be trusted.
Oh, okay.
Because I tried to leave. So now Yahweh Excuse me, Yahweh ben Yahweh looked at me as a weak person. You can come back, but you can't come in here. You go stand out the warehouse with all the other guys. And so my wife stayed in the house with him, and that's what
Yahweh ben Yahweh said, you take your ass out there. You leave my pussy, not his pussy. You leave your wife, which is my pussy, in here with me, and you take your ass out there. Because I'm running up in her anyway. You claim you don't know, but I'm putting your ass out there, so you ain't going to get back here and get it. So I'm going to let this other God that see me walking in and out of rooms, fucking wives and daughters and shit. Watch me go in your room while your ass out there and lay some heavy dick in your wife. And whoever bitch ass sit up there and watch that shit and then say, Khalil, I think Yahweh ben Yahweh dick in your wife.
When I went down there. And still, my wife would come down. We actually had a room, a conjugal room.
You see, now Yahweh was a pimp. Yahweh getting the pussy, but when he don't want Khalil to go crazy, he say, hey, go out there and get that nigga some of his pussy. I can't have it all. You go get that nigga some of his pussy and pacify that bitch, because I don't need him going to the feds. See, Yahweh was a pimp.
A screwing room set up. My wife would come down. We'd have our little sex thing. She'd go back to the big house. The whole time I was in the cult, even when I left, I never had an inkling that Yahweh ben Yahweh was sleeping with my wife. That's what people just get it wrong. These are things you find out when you leave the cult.
See? So he never had an inkling that Yahweh ben Yahweh wanted to fuck his daughter. But that's what he told me back in 2017. But see, they got Israel Doctrine Reloaded off the internet, and it had all that information on it. And Yahweh ben Yahweh was going to fuck my daughter, man. How old was your daughter? 3 years. You telling me that Yahweh ben Yahweh was that wicked that he would fuck 3-year-olds? If he wasn't doing that, then wasn't no possible way he was going to fuck your daughter, man. Matter of fact, your daughter wasn't even there. She went to her grandmother's. You know, his mother was dead, so you know which grandmother. Hey, she went to her grandmother's house. And you don't think grandma would have protected her granddaughter? But see, it's a lot of shit he ain't talking about. And a lot of shit he don't know to ask.
Okay.
People start talking.
Okay. I can dig it.
When you're in there, you don't know.
Right. Yeah,
you don't know.
Sense to me.
You don't know.
Now the body of Leonard Dupree has never been found. Do you know what they did with that body?
To the best of my knowledge, it was buried somewhere, but I do not know where it's at. But I know enough people, including my former wife, including Yahweh ben Yahweh, told me that it happened.
I mean, I believe that it happened, but I'm just trying to figure out, where his body is at right now.
Somewhere in the state of Florida. Somewhere, probably out there in the Everglades.
Gotcha. Now, if I say the term, a goat was sacrificed in the temple of love, what does that mean to you?
That would be Leonard Dupree. Yahweh ben Yahweh called the goat the Azazel. That's the Hebrew word for scapegoat. And this event just so happened right before Passover. And if you know about the Hebrew or the Jewish or the Israelite Passover, in the ancient days, they had 2 goats. One goat they would slaughter and eat, and another goat they would let go into the fields. That's where the term scapegoat comes from. The Azazel was the scapegoat. You had 2 goats, one get free, and one gonna get slaughtered. And Leonard Dupree, he was our Azazel. I was in Newark, New Jersey when it happened. I got a call. I got 2 calls in one day. First, the wife calls me. She gives me the details about how he was beaten and eyes gouged out, and everybody had to hit him. And later that evening, Yahweh ben Yahweh himself called me and told me. encoded language, and I had to act like I didn't know what he was talking about.
Okay, so this is what I want. This is my question.
Excuse me.
This is my question. So if it was coded language, that means you had already dealt with that type of code before. So how would you know what the goat symbolized and all the codes? How did you guys know that if you hadn't witnessed any murders or anything before? Thank you, Yatanya.
Well, it was coded language. Remember, this was when Leonard Dupree was murdered. That was '83. I had already been through the whole beheading of Ashton Green in '81. But we understood the language because we understood the teachings. There was a teaching about the scapegoat, the Azazel, one goes to be saved, one goes to be murdered. So I understood the teachings. And when Yahweh called me and said, we sacrifice the Azazel today, I was like, what? I'm acting ignorant. I don't want him to know that. My wife already told me. What? But I understand what he means. We said we sacrifice the Azazel.
Okay. Yeah. See, now you really open. You enlightening us because I didn't know that part of the game. Okay, got you. Yeah. All right. So
see, he don't know shit about Hebrew stuff though. He's not a Bible man. Anybody know about the sacrifice goat and the scapegoat? And that's what a term that people use today. Oh, that's the scapegoat. Why? Because Jesus Christ was both of them. He was the goat that was sacrificed, but he also the goat that carry your sins away so you can escape your sins. But when you don't know the Bible, you don't know shit about that Old Testament, then you don't know shit. Little Bible lesson for y'all, but I ain't talking Bible now. I'm talking about this goddamn hip hop COINTELPRO pro leader here, cult leader, Khalil Amani.
So let's see. For the bomb.
You're doing your homework. I see you. You're doing great,
yes. Bro. I appreciate it. I appreciate you.
You're doing great. Yes.
All right, so how is your relationship right now with your children that were in the cult?
The two that were in the cult, we're good. I mean, one of them, my oldest daughter, she's out. We go back and forth. I mean, it has nothing to do with the cult. She's on some fuck shit with the whole family,
She's her grandmother's grandchild. Grandma was a legitimate whore, and I would think he would never come out and say shit about his children now whores. Because see, this daughter here, I believe it's a stripper daughter, because he got a stripper daughter. He got a son that the stripper daughter and the son was like best friends with Tekashi 6ix9ine. If y'all don't know, this is Tekashi, not Tekashi, but XX Tekashi Young. I said the wrong name, forgive me, stroke. XX Tekashi Young, who's from that area. The daughter that was stripping was like his godmother, making him his god, quote unquote, father, which is his grandfather, but he considered that his godson also. And they tried to say, I killed XX Tentacion and all that. Y'all know country speculation and all that shit. See, he don't know enough to ask him, but see, that's why Khalil Amani would never speak to me person to person. Because he know that I know, and I'll knock his motherfucking head off. But just dropping a little jewels. Like I said, about to be on the hour, so
We motherfuckers just wanna bring you down, bring you down, jealous motherfuckers. See, when you on the side, motherfuckers just wanna bring you down. Look, motherfuckers wanna bring you down, bring you down. Motherfuckers wanna bring you down, bring you down. Motherfuckers wanna bring you down. Bring you down. Motherfuckers wanna bring you down. Bring you down. I give a fuck about a hater. Avoid it with the gator. Yellow nigga, but you're not on my rap radar. You can ask Elliot, they delicate. They differentiate subject from predicate. I'm unfuckwittable. You better all celibate. These fools don't want no beef. GP, I relish it. Promise you can't do nothing nowadays. They'll tell us shit. Why you minding my business? Let yours irrelevant. Weak motherfuckers running around here front. Know a little of everything about nothing.